Hi, I'm Ben, serial entrepreneur and carp fishing obsessive. Welcome to the beginning of my journey of building my very own carp fishing lake. Now, to make you understand why I want to do this, I have to take you back to where it all began. And that place is here, my town's local park lake, where at around 8 years old I would come and catch fish with my dad. Who knew this place would have such a key role in the journey to building my own fishery? Now, in my teens, I basically lived on the bank. I'd leave school on a Friday at 3 and rush to the nearest venue. I become quite good at carp fishing and eventually picked up some sponsors. They were kind enough to take me out to France and have my own segment on their yearly DVD. However, constantly fishing definitely did have its drawbacks, and weight from takeaways and lack of exercise took hold, and by 17 I was pushing 20 stone. Something had to change. I was 17, had a great career in the family business, nice cars and much more. But if I ever wanted a girlfriend, I would have to lose that weight. I began fishing less and less and training more and more. I was hitting the gym and I lost over 7 stone in a year. And by 19, I had lost nearly all the weight and was 12 stone, loving life with my new girlfriend, businesses and cars. Fishing had vanished. Life was epic. Until it wasn't. On the 28th of July 2020, my dad suddenly passed away from a heart attack. To those who don't know, my dad was my inspiration. Born on a council estate in Farringdon, he worked his whole life and decided to risk it all, and at the age of 43 started his own business. That business grew to be very successful and take him to all corners of the world. A year after his death, I decided to sell that company and move on to pursue my own dreams, as well as the online store I'd created off the back of it. The proceeds from the sale of that business enabled me to complete projects like this and many more, and for that I am forever grateful. But this video is about this project, building my own carp fishery in this field, the one located right behind our house. Now, this field is around 3 acres in size. Me and my dad used to sit in our bandstand and look out on it and dream of one day building a lake. And that is exactly what I am going to do. Now, sadly, you can't just roll the diggers in and start digging your lake, even though I would have really wanted to. Before we even started the process of gaining planning permission, I had to actually test the field could hold the water. I knew that we were on clay, but I thought a good idea would be to dig a test hole and see how it lasted. Over the course of a year, I was really impressed. The water remained at the 2-foot level that we smoothed out, and the naturals took hold really quickly as well, showing that we can do this thing without using a liner, without using some external blue clay source, and that the field can perfectly hold the water. Now, the next part of this process was to actually get a design done, and I went to my local architect who's done work for me before, Calvin from Weaver Khan, explained to him what I wanted to do. I'd already used our lawnmower to kind of do an outline of the lake design and shape with a little island in the middle, and kind of looked at it from above and thought, yep, that looks about right. So I knew the shape and design of the lake. And then I knew that I wanted to have either a cabin or like a glamping pod on the side of it. In the end, we went with glamping pod, and that is the design that I'm looking at right here. Now, the design features a road, which is going to be an easy access from another gate in the field to the right-hand side of the property. It comes up to the lake, there's some parking spots. You've got a glamping pod with a deck on the front of it. There's also going to be a hot tub. And as you can see, it faces out to the lake nice and easily. There's also an additional 2 other swims for people to use when they stay. So this is very much going to be a holiday carp fishing venue, somewhere that you can book, somewhere peace and quiet to come and have the lake to yourself. The lake, now this is where it links into the fact that it's close to where I grew up and on my local park lake, because we've measured it and it's actually exactly the same size as my local park lake. It's going to be 0.76 of an acre, so just under 1 acre, but for one angler, that is actually the typical amount of water an angler has in their swim anyway. In most holiday carp venues, some of them you even got at 0.25, 0.3 of an acre. So you're going to have pretty decent water and a whole load of pegs to be able to fish from. It's going to be a really nice venue just for holiday carp fishing. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for part 1. Part 2, I'm going to go into the whole process of planning permission and where we currently are with gaining planning permission for this to go through and all the costs involved. Planning has currently cost me over £20,000 with surveys, and it is an insane process. It's going to take a video to go through on its own. But for now, thanks for watching part 1 of building my own fishery. I intend to document all sorts of business projects that I have going on, including costs, so that people have an idea, if they ever want to attempt something like this themselves, of how to go about it and what it costs. Cheers.